We're joined now by Mary Snow, who we're looking forward to speaking to, as neither of us have met her before. But Mary is with the Quinnipiac University Poll, which of course based here in Connecticut. She's an analyst for them. Mary, do we have you with us?
Here. Thanks so much for having me.
Hello, Mary. Good to see you. Kevin, you want to start us off?
Well, I do. What changes have you seen? The polls are favoring Joe Biden tonight as we came into election night. What demographic groups are making the big changes for him over compared to 4 years ago?
Kevin, one thing that we're seeing in the state of Florida, and now you're seeing this is such a tight race in Florida. And we did see in the polling that Joe Biden did not have as much support among Hispanic voters that Hillary Clinton did. And now you're seeing this very tight race in Florida. One of the states that we have been polling that was really kind of a surprise to be added to what is right now a toss-up is the state of Texas. We've done a couple of polls in Texas and showed that race very competitive when Donald Trump easily won Texas in 2016. So that's been one of the races that we've been watching.
Can you talk just briefly about any adjustments that had to be made during the pandemic in the pollster's line of work?
Yeah, well, at Quinnipiac, what we had to do is to shift our polling so that interviewers could poll remotely from home. And that was a big change for us. Anyone in Connecticut probably knows that we have our polling center on campus. So that's been a significant change for us during this pandemic.
You have probably been watching the national poll, national results more than Kevin and I have been. Has anything popped up so far that has surprised you in any way, or anything that you said that really bears out what we found in our polling?
Again, Texas being such a tight race was pretty stunning in that it was firmly, reliably red state. Georgia has been a competitive state, again, a state that went for Donald Trump. That's another state where we had been polling. It's too early to see what's going on in Pennsylvania because, as you know, it's going to be slow going in terms of the count in Pennsylvania. So going into today, we had seen Joe Biden with a pretty steady lead in the state of Pennsylvania, which is really seen as crucial for both candidates.
How about Ohio?
Ohio is another state we have been polling.
Yes.
And we actually just released a poll yesterday where we saw Joe Biden with a bit of an edge. This is a state where it's been very competitive. This was a state that Donald Trump won easily in 2016. And now we're seeing so far from some of these returns that we're seeing tonight that it is very tight.
Oh, so, and I know it's early, but it seems like Ohio could be the Pennsylvania of 2020. I'm not asking you to project, but it seems like Ohio is so far is the biggest surprise. Now, Texas could overcome it, but as we're sitting here, the numbers in Ohio seem to be getting the most comment.
And Kevin, one of the things about Ohio is that it really hasn't been getting so much attention this year. Ohio for so many years has really been seen as the bellwether because it has, since 1964, Ohio has picked the winner in the presidential races. Joe Biden made a visit there yesterday, kind of underscoring that perhaps Democrats saw something there that they thought they could pick up Ohio. So, it is a state that Donald Trump was certainly wanting to win and put in his column. But again, too close to call right now.
I mean, a loss of 20 electoral votes from Trump to Biden would probably be decisive in the overall result.
It would make it very tough for Donald Trump. But again, night is early,
Yes,
and a lot of votes are still being counted. I've failed to mention that Georgia, if I hadn't mentioned that, is another state we have been polling. And that state, too, is competitive, a state where Donald Trump won by 5 points back in 2016. And Georgia also has, it's unusual because it has 2 Senate seats. Right now, there's a special election, and also the Republican incumbent, David Perdue, is up for election. In our polls going into today, we did see Democrats with the edge in those Senate seats, Senate races.
Mary Snow of the Quinnipiac University Poll, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.